Okay, we are going to get started, and I'm so excited.
I'm not excited, I'm overwhelmed, I'm going crazy, think I'm gonna be able to do this.
It'll be fine. It'll be fine.
Can you see?
We have kind of actually been,
Where else?
Am I in your way?
I can't do this.
let me do the talking right now. and you do your
No, I
turn
don't
later.
think so.
Okay.
Okay?
You're
All right.
okay.
So this has kind of been in the works. We
You're the one
started
that's
talking
in the
about
way.
this actually in May. And she graciously was willing to do this with us and for herself. And when we decided on a date in June and started talking about it, she came to us and said, could we change the date? And she thought it would have been a good idea to do it today since it was her birthday. So, we've been doing a lot of talking about this, and I know that you guys have gotten phone calls and requests and have been searching for paintings and been so wonderful to come up with these paintings, which is really, really... Yeah. I'm going to back up just a step. Sorry. Maybe a lot of you don't know me. I'm Gloria Oaks Speltz. I'm the activity director here. Judy Holton is one of my activity assistants, and Judy has spent a lot of time with Greta working on today as well. So we're glad that you're all here. As you can hear already, Greta is overwhelmed and is happy to see all of you. And I'm not going to take up too much time, and I'm going to let Judy kind of man the show here with Greta, and she's got an order to this. She's got a little bit of an agenda, so we will get started with what she has planned for this afternoon.
All right. It's right here. We're going to talk about the bottles and the lemons. You're going to talk, because you know all about them. I'll just hold them up here.
Well, I'm not ready to talk about that yet. I'm just gonna say, thank you all for coming. And I'm overwhelmed, to say the least. And I thank the activities for asking me. I did not ask to do this. They asked me. And so I will do the best I can. I don't know what that is. I may fall apart in the middle. So this is, let's see, where was I?
This is the bottles.
Well, thank you, activities.
You're welcome.
And I will talk first about my formal education. And this was the beginning. Sometime in the 1940s, late 1940s, I lived in Kentucky. And I signed up for an oil painting class at the University of Louisville. And I had never held a brush in my hand or even knew what an easel was or anything. So I signed up for the class. And so when the professor, he set up this still life, and he said, I want you to paint what you see. And this is what I did. And now remember, I never had even opened a tube of paint. I didn't know. But that's what I did. And so he came around to look at our work, and he said, and I said, I was so embarrassed, I said, well, should I quit? He said, don't you quit. And then I quit. I didn't paint anymore. That was it. So then we moved back to the Cooley region, and Maria, my good friend right here, and I had met Maria, and we became really good friends. And so she said, let's sign up for this community education class in oil painting, right? And so we did. So instructor said, paint me a picture, paint me a... So I painted a field with flowers, and some guy came by from the community education. He said, I want to buy that picture. I said, okay. So he said, how much is it? And I said, $20. So he gave me $20 and walked away with the picture, and so I don't have it. I can't show it to you. But anyhow, then after that, Maria and I, we finished the course, didn't we? And then when later I saw or heard about this woman in La Crosse who was giving instruction in portrait painting. So I wanted to go, but she said, in order to get in my class, you have to bring a sample of your work. So I took my sample of Ole Larsen, who is my great-great-grandfather from Norway. That's him there. That's him. And he was born in 1810. And anyhow, I took that to her as my sample of my work. She looked at it and she said, you don't need my help. So that was the end of my formal education in painting. So that's all I ever learned, I mean, other than paint, you know. But then I learned that there was a class given by Viterbo, a free semester of any subject you wanted to take that they offered. If you had never been to college. Well, I hadn't. So I signed up and I got into the weaving class with a bunch of young people. And of course this old lady coming in, I was pretty old by that time. So anyhow, I took the course, the full semester of weaving. That's how I learned to weave, except that after that was over and done, I met Sibylla Goldson from Decorah, who was an expert weaver, especially in Norwegian technique. So anyhow, then I worked with her for a long time, many months, and learned quite a bit about Norwegian technique. And so that was my education in painting and weaving. That's it. Except just to paint.
Should we talk about this?
I forgot. Well, what was that? That was that was when we were at the community education.
Yeah.
And I asked the professor, or not the professor, the instructor. I said, I want to do a portrait. He said, well, do it then. So this is what I did.
Pretty good, I think. Kind of a...
Roustabout.
Yeah.
But anyhow,
Okay.
what I did.
Show your small weaving.
Oh, well, this was part of what I learned from Sibylla Goldson. That's a Norwegian technique. It's really a hard kind of weave to do. It's done on the loom, yet it's finger weaving in there too. That's about it. That's my own design, and
You're talking to the... We're talking to the microphone. Here. Talking to the microphone.
Oh, okay. Like I said, it was my own design, not very good, but
Oh, I think it is.
it's the best I could do.
Okay.
And this was,
Do you want to talk about this also?
well, it's just a little pencil drawing when I probably was 12 or 13 years old. And it was just, I don't know, it's just, I always liked to draw since I was a little girl. And so this was something I did at the age of 12 or 13. And I don't know it. And I
You want to just?
I had forgotten I'd gone out to go to work, and I have this sister named Lotus, and she is 10 years younger than I. And so when she gave me this when I was in my 80s, and I'm older than that now. And so then that was given to me by Lotus. She saved it all these years. That's a good sister, isn't it?
That's a wonderful sister.
And where is she? Is she here?
Yeah, she is.
Oh, hi Lotus, wherever you are.
I'm here.
But I wanted to tell you about her. When she was born, I wouldn't look at her for 3 days because I didn't think my dad finally came to me and he said, don't you want to see the new baby? Of course, we were all born at home, you know. And so he said, don't you want to see the new baby? And I said, no. And he said, why not? And I said, because we have enough children. We're 10 family of 10 kids. And I said, we had enough. So he said, well, don't you want to look at her? He said, she's pretty. And I said, oh, with that, then when she was pretty, I knew I wanted to see her. So I got up and went down to look at her, and from then on I thought, she's okay. And she's so pretty. So where are you, Lotus? Because I'm sure you're just as pretty
Stand
today.
up.
Take a while. And she got that man sitting with her. That's just a painting I did for Lotus.
Yes, you can see this one.
But I wanted to say, that man sitting next to her is her husband, I suppose.
Here I am, dear.
Okay, well, Barton, he has been the best of brother-in-laws that any woman could have. I really appreciate him.
There you go.
We do,
If you right words, you can.
we do fight once in a while, but then we make up and we have a good time. And I get her to laugh, you know, by being mean to her sometimes. And this is,
You're nice now.
I'm going to be nice. And this is not home, but I want to say, if you can't be home, Spring Grove, this nursing home is tops as far as I'm concerned. I want to congratulate each one of you, and you're taking good care of her, and I appreciate it. Thank you.
You want to talk about this one?
Well, this one that I did, and I gave it to Lotus.
You want to talk about it a little bit? About the lady?
I don't want to say
You don't
anything
wanna
about
say
it.
anything about it?
It's just something I did.
Okay. Okay, then you want to talk about your abstract?
Huh?
You want to talk about your abstract?
I wanted to tell about the weavings a little bit.
Oh, all right.
This is just a needle point here, not needle point. It's a kit that I bought from Decorum, Van Vera's shop. Anybody could do it. It's just with a needle, and it's a Norwegian bride on a fjord horse. So that's just something anybody could do. It's not a weaving, but that is a weaving that I did.
Picture. I didn't do that, did I?
No, it just fell down. You didn't do it.
How about we just put it right here?
Yeah.
It wasn't straight. Look, we're just going to carry it.
Oh, be careful with that one.
You know, I'm going to put it right here.
That's good. But that's the Norwegian side.
Yeah?
That's a technique of this. No, that's the wrong side.
Oh, okay.
And that's one I displayed at the Nordic Fest. And I didn't win any prizes at all. But they did look at it pretty good. So.
Okay.
And that's the last weaving that I was on the loom when I wanted to make it 6 feet long and I couldn't. I lost my sight, so that's all I had gotten done. And my niece was here from Norway, so she cut it off. And that's what I have. That's what's left of what I wanted to do. That's the end of my weaving. Well, that one is a good one. That's a coat that I wore for 10 years, a sheepskin coat, and what you can make out of nothing. Something, just cut it up and made it into a rug. And it feels very good under your feet.
Okay. Do you want to talk about, let's talk about this one that I...
Yes,
really-
you want to talk about that. Let me look at her. I haven't seen her since I painted her.
How many years ago was that?
I don't know. David could tell you.
It was 13 years ago.
13 years ago.
David, maybe you want to tell about it. I can't.
Here.
Well, thank you. This is my daughter, and she passed at age 18. And Greta was kind enough to do this painting of her a couple years at. I'll use my outside voice. Greta was kind enough to do this wonderful painting of our daughter a couple years after she had passed. And it's very important to us. And we love Greta before and after that, of course, and we thank you again for doing that.
Thank you, David.
Well, thank you.
Okay. Now, you have to explain this picture.
Well, where is that thing? There is a famous painting called October Morn. It's a naked woman bathing in a pool. And so I decided to do April Morn. That's just a little girl doing, it's a figment of the October.
Okay. And the church?
Oh, that's, I was asked by Dr. Evanson and Ray to do a picture of that church as you drive it on 76, I think it is, toward Houston. And it's an old stone church, beautiful old church. And I painted it when the colors were still bright on the steeple, but now they're faded. But anyhow, now that's for Dr. Evanson and Ray. And Dr. Evanson is an artist in his own right. I mean, you can't do what he does and not be an artist. And he's a collector of art, I know that, from being in his dentist chair plenty. So anyhow, that's what I did for them, and of course they paid me too. And when we bartered a little bit.
Okay.
Oh, that's my little snot-nosed my niece. Where is she? Is she here? Where is
You gotta
she?
wait. You gotta raise your hand.
Is she not here?
Is she not here?
She's not here.
No, it's Vicky.
It's Vicky.
That's Vicky.
It's
Huh?
Vicky.
I looked a lot like that when I was that age.
She was in kindergarten, I suppose.
Well, can
But
I
she
tell
was
a
my
story about
godchild,
that?
and just she was a little different kind of a kid, as you can see.
That's my daughter.
That's your daughter.
Yes, but
It's Lotus and Barton's daughter.
yes, but her cousin Diane Schultz, who is his sister. We were at their house one night, and Diane had dark hair. She was a year younger than Vicky. And we were downstairs talking, and they were upstairs. And they came down, and they said, "How does Diane look as a blonde?" And they had taken a big chunk out of Vicky's hair right here and put it on Diane's head. So she had long hair, but she was to go to school with this big chunk out of her hair. So that's the kind of haircut her mother gave her so she could do it at school.
I did that too.
Can't hear what you're saying. Get over here. Who are you? Who are you? Oh, yeah. What am I supposed to do?
No, I was just telling you what she was saying. Huh? I was just trying to tell you what she was saying.
Oh,
You want to talk
well,
about
that's
this
my
one?
brother. We used to call him Georgie, teasing Georgie Porgy, couldn't until I kissed the girls and made them cry. And anyhow, when that was his hunting dog, Tuck. I don't know where they got the name, maybe from Robin Hood and Friar Tuck. I don't know, but anyhow, that was their hunting dog, and that was George. Where's George now? He's here, I saw him.
Yeah, there he is.
Look how he grew up into his ears. Georgie, you want to say something?
He doesn't know what to
I
say.
don't know.
He had two dogs. One was Nip and one was Tuck.
I could
Oh,
probably
nip and tuck.
tell you a little bit about him.
Okay.
Give him the mic.
He wants to know.
Of course, a lot of you don't understand, but he was a hunting dog. He was a hunting dog,
He was a hunting dog?
yeah.
Put the mic up, I don't know.
And
I'll hold it.
we used to go to coon trials. Probably don't know what they were, but he won 13 coon trials in a row.
Wow. I can see the likeness.
So, but then I think in the 14th one, he was,
Put the mic up.
I think they were going to take him to the Nationals.
Wow.
But he, he used to be line and tree. You had to go so far, they'd trail the dogs, you know. Well, I used to pull the coon.
Oh, it's
I said, I get a quarter.
How old were you there?
I suppose about 40.
Oh, I don't know about that.
I don't know, maybe 13, 14.
Okay.
I don't know. But,
Interesting.
but that's what we'd, they pulled this coon around and then they made a trail, you see. And at one time, I looked back there and the coon had his head out.
Ooh.
Boy, I didn't know how to get that bugger back in there, but I finally did. I put a wire around there so he couldn't get out. But anyway, then they'd have 3 or 4 heats of dogs.
Sure.
And then the final heat would be run later. See. And,
Well, that's-
so he was in the finals.
So she got the likeness really well, huh?
Oh, when he
It's a beautiful
ran,
dog.
he'd sail.
Wow.
He was always first. Yeah.
He had a great smile in that picture. Okay, Greta. Let's.
Oh, that's, I was asked to do a couple of paintings for one of the banks in Caledonia. So that's one of them, and my cousin Kate found out about them, and they had been taken down and put in storage. So she bought them and gave them to her mother, Mary Lou, who's here today, who's the one grand woman. Stand up, Mary Lou, and be acknowledged. And she's doing that painting plus one more that her daughter Kate gave her. And of course, Kate wants them back someday. So.
Yeah.
and Kate's in Nova Scotia.
I'm around.
Oh, she's not gonna get in my ear around.
And there was one more that,
Yep, this one right here.
and that was on my trout farm. That was just a stream on my trout farm where I lived and worked and painted. That's it.
That's it. All right, we got one more here.
It's getting to be too long, isn't it? Oh, it's just a figment of my imagination, but I forgot to put the slingshot in his hand.
I think he's got a rock in there.
I think so
I guess he belongs to somebody. I think it's Lisa Fricky.
Yeah, it's fine.
Am I right?
Yep.
Okay, and then this one.
Oh, that belongs to Lisa too. And I cannot remember painting that. I don't even know where it was, but I must have gone and sketched it or out or something and went home and painted it because I can't remember ever doing it or ever. I guess the year is on there and everything.
1985.
1985, and I must have done it because I signed it, but I can't remember ever doing it.
That's beautiful.
I still can't see it. I still can't believe I did it.
Okay, we have one more.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, that's just abstract painting. I was losing my sight then and I couldn't see very well. So I painted an abstract. You can take from it whichever you want. But some people like it and some don't. My cousin, Kate, was standing there when I was painting it and she said, "Oh, I don't like it." And the other girl that was with her said, "Well, I do." And I said, "Well, then it's yours." So that was the end of,
That's the end of it?
that's the end of, is that all, I guess
So
that's,
pretty. To the little girls.
oh, that belongs to my nephew, just a figment of my imagination. And this one was also, I had given it to Sibylla Bolson for her help in weaving, and then I got it back after she died. Her husband gave it to me, so now it's the one painting that I own, that little one. That one. Yeah. That's my painting, so now. But that must be the end of it, isn't it?
Gosh,
I
no,
hope.
no, you still got one more maybe. On the random. Yeah.
Oh, that's my neighbor girl's dog, Amber. And Stephanie and Roy have been my good friends for a long time. They live down in Brownsville, and she's working today and couldn't be here. And Roy's had a bad arm, and he was flooded out, of course, this terrible rain we had, and they lost their garden and everything. It was really bad. But anyhow, that's her painting of Amber, and the dog is gone now.
All right.
One left leaving.
Which one?
Anybody else can speak if they
Oh, the
want.
weaving. We can't forget another weaving.
Where'd that come from?
I'm not.
That came from our house.
Came
Where's
from David's
David?
house. David's.
David, oh sure. Well, let me tell you about that. That David, you know, I had forgotten that, but he invited me for Thanksgiving dinner one time, and here he was. This boy, he baked 3 pies, so we all 3 different pumpkin pies. Is that right, David?
Well, I think my wife had something to
We
do with
looked
it.
at a taste of his cooking. And I remember that was on the table when he served the Thanksgiving Thanksgiving dinner.
It's always on our table
Is it?
for holiday dinners, yes. So that's why it probably has a little wine on it.
I don't see it.
That was, I'd forgotten what I did. I like it though.
It's very nice. All right. Did we get everything now?
That's it, isn't it?
It is.
Thank you, Activities, for doing this.
Absolutely.
You know, I think we all should join in and happy birthday for Greta Lockhart.
But today is my birthday.
Yes, it is.
And I want you all to enjoy some cake and ice cream, please.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday.